Hi everybody, Mike Molina here with a lot of negative news coming out about debt and how people are struggling, etc. and so forth. I wanted to address the ever-present conversation about the impending housing crash and the housing bubble that doesn't actually exist. I'm just going to take a few minutes to go over some key things and repeat what I've kind of told you in the past, but maybe give you a little bit different take on it and give you some things that you can share with your prospects and clients about why there's no crash coming and why we're not in a bubble. So there are two main drivers. There's a lot of things, but there are two main drivers. The first, of course, is supply and demand. Now, back in 2008, when everything started to go south, there was something like 4 million plus homes on the market, and there was less than 1 million transactions being closed. So when you have that much inventory and that little demand, of course, things are going to go horribly wrong. Now, the inverse is true. This is a chart showing household formations. These are all annualized rates and home completions. All right. So the orange line is household formations. A household formation is there's a family, there's a kid, he turns 18 and he moves out. Well, that's a new household formation. Or there's a husband and a wife, they live in a house or they live in a household, they get divorced and they go their separate ways. So now one household becomes two households. So that's a household formation. So household formations is exactly what it sounds like. Home completions are down here. And what you can see is that all the way back to September 2021, there is a deficit of housing completions versus household formations. So the only time that we've ever actually had more houses being completed than the household formations was just for a very short period in August and September of 2022. And we all know why that was. That was because of the lockdowns and nobody wasn't really doing anything. But other than that, we've had a deficit every single month going back 3 years or so. And that deficit is going to continue because they can't create new housing units fast enough to accommodate the demand, because household formations are just going up constantly. So we have as of the last measurement, we had 2.68 million household formations per year, as opposed to just 1.468 million household completions. So that is a huge key factor driving the housing market. That's why home values are not falling, because it's the simple law of supply and demand. When you have a short supply and there's a lot of demand, pricing goes up. That's a universal economic truth. All right. So the second reason, one of the second big reasons that we're not in a bubble and there's not going to be any crash, is because homeowner equity is at an all-time high. So this green line here, this goes all the way back to 1990. So the green line represents homeowner equity, how much equity people that own their homes have in their homes, okay? And the red line indicates mortgage delinquency rates. So as you can see, as homeowner equity goes up, delinquencies trend down. Now, when equity starts to drop really far and when delinquencies start to increase, and these things are, the cause and effect is kind of circular, because lack of equity creates a lack of desire to make your payment, so delinquencies go up, and increasing delinquencies, makes banks foreclose, and so equity goes down because home values go down. So it's kind of a vicious cycle, but this is the pattern. And you can see that here in the Great Recession, homeowner equity dropped and home delinquencies spiked. And then things started to turn around, and since about 2014, the inverse has been true. And now, homeowner equity is at an all-time high, and delinquencies are at some of the lowest levels, and they've been lower than they were all the way back in way pre-pandemic and pre-Great Recession. So things are actually really good in terms of delinquencies. So here's some quick charts from CoreLogic that I thought you might be interested in. So in August of 2022, so this is the overall U.S. mortgage delinquency rate, okay? In August of 22, 2.8% of homes had delinquencies. August 2023, it dropped by 0.2% to 2.6%. Next up, we have serious delinquency levels by time frame, okay? So if you look back in August of 2022, 30 days or more, 2.8%. August 23, 2.6%. 30 to 59 days past due, 1.2%. That ticked up a little bit to 1.3%. 60 to 89 days past due, August of 22, 0.3%, August of 23, 0.4%, and so on and so forth. And so what you can see is that we've actually, in the very serious delinquency categories, okay, the 90 to 119 days, 120 days plus in foreclosures, they've either stayed the same or gone down. So that is, and the reason for that is because people have a lot of equity in their home and they don't want to lose it. So mortgage delinquencies are at an all-time low, their lowest level since 1999, in fact. Okay, so this is the 30-day mortgage delinquency rate only, so more than 30 days but less than 60. And if you look here, this light green is when the delinquency rates increase year over year. So this is a measurement from August of 22 to August of 23, and in this light green is if delinquencies for 30-day or more delinquencies increase year over year. And as you can see, there's only a few states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 states where delinquencies rose throughout the country. In every other state, they either didn't change at all, or they went down to some degree. The gray, which is the majority of the country, dropped either 0 to 0.25%. And this dark green or teal, they dropped 1/4 to 0.5%. And this burgundy is when they dropped more than 0.5%. So that is phenomenal news, very, very encouraging. And another reason why we are not going to have a crash, because demand is high, supply is low, equity is at an all-time high, and people are not going to let go of their homes because they don't want to lose all that equity. So looking at this for serious delinquencies all throughout the country, so the previous chart we just looked at was 30 to 60 days. This is serious delinquencies, like 60 days and above. So looking at this, the same color code. So 0 or more. So if it increased, this is the light green. Again, it's just a few states, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so. Looks like 8, 9, 10. So 10 or so different areas. That's actually not by state, it's more like by area. So not very much. In every other part of the country, the vast majority of the country, delinquency rates, serious delinquency rates dropped as well. So that is all very encouraging news. Please feel free to share this with your clients and prospects and friends and family and everybody else in the world, because we've got to change the narrative. All these slides are available for you to download. If you're watching on YouTube, you can click the link in the description and go and download them there, or you can go to the email that you received this video, and underneath the video is a big red button. You can download them there. Thanks so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and we'll talk with you soon. Take care.